everybody. How are you? How are you? Welcome to a special episode of Live with Miss B. That's right, a special episode. I know you're not used to seeing me this time of day, but you just never know when I'm going to show up. Thank you for joining me. And as always, there may be some technical difficulties. It looks like I'm frozen, but prayer for the message will still go forth. If this is your first time joining me, I am Ms. B, positively Ms. B, Bonita Claiborne, coming to you with interviews, and I even do events. I'm on the Flow Network, where we can be seen on Amazon TV, Apple TV, and other platforms. Right now, you're probably seeing me on my personal Facebook pages. I have a special guest. All my guests are special. You know that. All of my guests are special, but this person I recently met and we connected, and I believe that she has something that I would like to share with all of you. Father, in the name of Yeshua, Jesus Christ, that I serve, I thank you for this opportunity for this global ministry. I pray that you continue to cover us and that everything we do and say be acceptable in your sight, but the messages be received in the manner that is meant. Continue to bless the Flow Network and all of those concerned with the podcast broadcast. And I ask you to continue to I want to continue to thank you for my daughter, Ms.B, as she continue along her healing journey. In the name of Yeshua, Jesus Christ, I believe it is so. Yes, this is a special time for me. I do a show every Sunday at 1 p.m. and usually on Sunday evenings I'm chilling, but this time I decided to come live. I attended a event in Petersburg, trying to encourage business interest. And while I was there, I met Tamara and we communicated. And I believe her message is timely. We have a lot going on in the economy. We have a lot going on everywhere, but also she's a woman of faith. So I would like to introduce you to my guest, Tamara Taylor.
Hi, Ms.B. How are you?
I am blessed to see you, pretty lady.
I am blessed to be here. Thank you for having me.
Not a problem. As I was telling my viewers, I usually don't do anything on a Sunday evening, but I made a special exception just for you. I told them how we met and why I decided to do this special show. But before we move forward, I mentioned that you're a woman of faith, and that was one of the things that we really connected on.
Yes.
In your own way, introduce yourself to your audience.
Yes. Well, I am Tamara Taylor, and I am the principal broker and owner of Community Real Estate. I also attend Activating Kingdom Initiative under the tutelage of Bishop S.B. Jackson, and then I'm also a co-host of the new Perspective Show along with the visionary and host Erica Harper, and the other co-host is Rickety Ali. So we'll be coming back soon as we'll be talking with various entrepreneurs and changing the perspective of those of our audience.
You know what? Okay, I'm gonna leave that alone. She did very well. And so as we move forward into the interview, there are two things I want to cover: how faith impacts you as a real estate agent, and then how real estate is impact the economy. You know, everything is a ministry to me. Would you say being a broker, real estate agent, being in this type of work is a ministry?
I definitely would. And it's also pushed me as a leader because I do have clients that work under Community Real Estate Group. And so it allows me the opportunity to share what I have experienced and gone through because I've been in this industry for a little over 18 years. So it's allowed me to share my journey, my passion, and my pitfalls because a lot of people talk about the pitfalls that we experience.
Absolutely, absolutely. When you began your real estate career, would you say you had to step out on faith? Because a lot of people are like, oh my goodness, I got to worry about commission in order to survive. How did faith play a part?
Oh my goodness, it was definitely faith. I can be very transparent and honest. My family was totally against it. I come from a line of realtors, so my aunt was a realtor, still is a realtor. She's actually one of my associate brokers with my company. So she was there. My father, my parents, they experienced, because my father was also an agent. And I'm sorry for the, I don't know why the volume, or if you can hear the background. So I apologize about that.
Do you have two devices on?
I do not.
Okay, well, we're just gonna keep it moving. So your family is involved in real estate, and they were like, "Girl, what are you thinking?"
So they were like, no. They saw the pitfalls, the times where real estate had kind of drawn up. It was difficult and challenging. So they were like, no. And it was kind of, you need to have 5 times of your income. You need to have a savings. You need to do this. And my son was small at the time. And I said, you know what? I'm going to give it my all and try it. If it doesn't work, then I'll just find another job. But at that point, I stepped out by faith. My best friend, who was my loan officer at the time, she brought me into the business, and we were ready to rock and roll. But it was truly by faith that I had to take that leap, even when everybody else said, no, 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 this isn't the time. You have a small child. How dare you quit your job and do something that's so unpredictable on a full-time basis?
Well, my dogs are barking in the background, so we both got issues. But that being said, when people say step out on faith, especially when it comes to working on commission, before we move forward, how would you encourage someone who's thinking about being a real estate or thinking about leaving?
What I would say is, first and foremost, you have to pray about it and seek God, because everything is about timing and your season. So you have to listen to the voice of God and what his instructions are for you. If it is for you to come into this industry, then there is a people that God will have you to serve. And you have to walk in obedience of that. And you have to, I remember one of the old pastors used to say, when you're scared and fearful, you bring it with you. So even in your fearful place, even when you're unsure, you have to know that God will not put you in a situation that he will fail, because he can't. God does not fail. So you have to listen to the instruction and follow it. It's one thing to hear it, but it's another thing to implement, because we have to be impactful and for what God is calling for us to do. Those that are thinking about leaving the industry, why? What is it? Is it your time is up? Is your season up? What's going on that's causing you to feel like you're second guessing your career decision? And is God pulling you into something else because of your time is being spent pulling into a different direction? Or maybe God is pulling you into leadership, getting your broker's license and pushing you into another direction beyond just being a sales agent. Because sometimes we get comfortable at just one level and not seeing where God is taking us into a different place.
I also want to interject. A lot of people are unemployed. And if you go into something for the wrong reason, then that could be an indicator why you're unhappy. A lot of people are like, I need a job. I need to do something. Let me go. And then they realize, oh, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. I don't like dealing with people. I don't want to go out in all kinds of weather. And who are they to be telling me what I need to do? I'm sick of these meetings. And, so as far as you saying seeking godly wisdom in everything, but especially this type of career, again, being that you're seasoned as well as family members involved in it, if you would at this time, give a word of encouragement to people to go into it for the right reasons, because chasing after money is not necessarily, especially in the beginning, any type of sales is rocky.
That is very correct. Any type of sales is rocky. But what I would say to encourage the people is that you have to be passionate and listen to your heart. You can't come into it, because a lot of people see the glitz and the glamour of the money. Oh, when we sell a house, we get 3% commission. We get all of this money, and that's one part of it. That's one piece of it. But who are you serving? Is your heart to serve the people? Because if you're just after the money, you will never be fulfilled, because you're going to come into a career, and when the hard times come, you won't know how to sustain. When things get challenging, you're going to be ready to pull out because your heart isn't in it. So you have to be encouraged to know that I'm here to serve people. Because when you come into real estate, it's not about yourself. It's about who you are helping. Whether you're helping a client purchase a home, this is one of the biggest decisions that they will ever make. So they don't want to feel like they're being pressured. They don't want to feel like they're being pumped and primed and sold a dream. They want to know that they have somebody that's going to have their back, that's going to be honest, that's going to tell them the truth and walk them through the entire process, step by step by step, because this is something that's emotional for them. Most people, when they're buying a house, it's an emotional attachment. Same thing when they're selling a house. For those that may be downsizing, kids have gone off to college, it's emotional for them. So you have to be able to minister to them, to talk them through the process. And so if your heart is not there and it's all about the dollars, you won't be successful. So in order to come in, you have to make sure that you are not just in the right mindset, the right headspace, but your heart is aligned, that you know you are selfless. It is not about you in this business, but it's about those that you are called to and those that you will impact while in this industry.
I love that response. And have you found yourself in a situation where you really felt that they were not making the best decision? And how did you handle it, if so?
Was it the client or another agent?
Client. We'll get into
A
the
client,
agent in a minute.
yes. And I've had to have those hard conversations because I am held accountable for everything that I do. So if a client is moving into something and I know it's not the best because Holy Spirit is pulling at my heartstrings, then I need to have a conversation. At the end of the day, it's up to them to make their decision. But I'm going to have those hard conversations when it's a property and they fell in love with it and the home inspection just came out horrible and they still want this property. Then we need to really talk about how much you're going to be putting into it. Is this going to be best suited? Remember what your goals are when we first sat down and talked. You wanted something that was move-in ready. Now, not saying everything is going to be perfect, but you have to kind of remind them and talk them through it because they will get so excited about what they see and the glitz and glamour. But again, there's so many moving parts to it. And so you want to have those hard, honest conversations and bring your clients back. Because sometimes they'll jump off the ledge. Things can be simple, could be the other way around. Two things going on with the property and they're ready to just cancel the contract. And it could be small things. So you have to be able to have that wisdom and that soft voice and how to speak to them in a way that is not condescending, that they understand, and we'll bring it back to what your goals are. And what is the resolution or the solution for the issue? Because that's what it all boils down to. Whatever it is, what is the solution? And that's my job, is to help them come up with that solution.
As a faith-based broker,
Yes.
do you find yourself praying before you make these contracts and these contacts? And how has prayer helped you through all this?
Prayer has helped me get contracts to the closing table. There have been contracts that I know it is nothing but the grace of God that has gotten approved. They have found favor. I've had people tell me I was going to go up on this particular property, but it just was something about it. And it was my client, and it was prayer. And I even when I'm writing a contract, I pray about it to make sure that we're putting in the best offer. Now, not every offer is going to get accepted, but I want to make sure that I'm hearing spirit and not Tamara. And I'm sitting down writing my offer for that client. So prayer is a huge part. Even when I'm with my clients, we're praying for the property. I could be silently praying and listening to what you're talking about because I want to see what's going on and hear what their reactions are. And I'm looking to see their body language and if they like it and if they don't. Because one thing I always tell them is do not settle. Don't just settle, because if you settle for something, you will not be happy.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm going to take a little short break, and when we come back, we'll continue. And we're going to talk about your experience as a broker and dealing with other realtors.
Okay.
This is my daily medical journal you can find on Amazon. Inside, you can track your blood pressure. You can also track your vitamins and supplements. And there's a calendar to know when to take your medicine and if you have any doctor's appointments. Also, there are blank pages for any notes you need to take.
Hey, everybody, I'm back. Thank you so much for joining me. If you're just joining, absolutely, for the first time, thank you. This is Ms. B. I am doing a special interview with Tamara Taylor. We're talking about real estate and faith. What you just saw was a short clip of my daughter. That's right, Jamise Bianca. She wrote a book. She's a stage 4 cancer survivor, and you can find her book on Amazon. She was inspired to write that book based on all the experiences we had with doctors' appointments and medications and questions. So you can find that on Amazon. Again, that's my daughter, Jamise Bianca. You can find her on all social media under Jamise Bianca or Jamise Wilson. Thank you so much for your support. All right, I'm going to bring the guests back. Thank you so much. We were talking about how faith and prayer uh, was an integral part of what you do professionally. You are a broker, which means that you're not just working alongside a real estate agent. You actually, they're under your licensure. Tell me a little bit about how your faith is helping you to deal with those type of personalities.
Is
Is
cultivating your
cultivating your
leadership
leadership
because,
because
again,
again,
it's
it's
being
being
selfless.
selfless.
I
I
have to
have
make
to make
sure
sure
that
that
I'm
I'm
accountable
accountable
to
to
each one
each
of
one
my
of my
agents.
agents.
What are
What
they
are they
needing
needing
from
from
me?
me?
What do
What
they
do they
need to
need
make
to
sure
make
that
sure
they
that they
are
are
successful?
successful?
So
So
I
I
do
do
group
group
meetings, I
meetings,
do
I do
one-on-ones.
one-on-ones.
We
We
sit
sit
down and
down
we
and
really
we really
talk so
talk
I
so
can
I can
assess
assess
what is it
what is
that
it
they
that they
need, and
need.
then
And then
I
I
take
take
that to
that to
prayer.
prayer.
So
So
I
I
can
can
ask
ask
God,
God,
okay, what
okay,
is it
what
that
is
I
it that
need
I
to
need
do?
to do?
How
How
is it
is it
that I
that
can
I
make
can
this
make this
happen
happen
so I
so
can
I
give
can
the
give the
best of
best
me
of
to
me to
them?
them?
So I
So I
give them
give
the
them the
good, the
good, the
bad,
bad,
and the
and the
ugly
ugly
so
so
they will
they will
understand and
understand and
know
know
all of
all
these
of these
different
different
sides of
sides
this
of this
business,
business
because
because
it's
it's
beyond just
beyond just
showing
showing
property, it's
property. It's
beyond
beyond
just
just
listing
listing
a
a
house.
house.
You're
You're
talking to
talking to
people
people
that
that
are in
are in
different
different
stages. Some
stages.
of them
Some
may
of
be
them may
going
be
through
going
a
through a
foreclosure or
foreclosure
trying
or
to
trying to
prevent a
prevent a
foreclosure.
foreclosure.
Some of them
Some of
could
them
have
could
had
have had
health
health
issues. Some of
issues.
them
Some
are
of them are
relocating and they're
relocating and they're
scared, they're
scared, they're
nervous.
nervous.
Some of them
Some of
could have
them could have
lost a
lost a
spouse
spouse.
and now
And
they're
now they're
having to
having to
move
move
because they
because they
can't take
can't
care
take
of the
care of the
financial
financial
responsibility.
responsibility.
So there are
So there are
different
different
dynamics. So
dynamics. So
I
I
want them
want
to
them to
know
know
how to
how to
talk to
talk to
people,
people,
not just
not
look
just
at
look
them
at
as
them
a
as a
client.
client.
Because I
Because I
always tell
always
people
tell
my
people my
clients are like
clients are like
family. I
family. I
build that
build that
rapport and
rapport
that
and that
relationship.
relationship.
People
People
work with
work with
people they
people they
trust
trust
and they
and they
like.
like.
And so
And
when
so
you're
when you're
talking to
talking to
people,
people,
they
they
know if you
know if
just
you
talk
just
and
talk and
fluff,
fluff.
or if you're
If you're
able to
able
really
to really
relate to
relate
them,
to them,
help them,
help
and
them,
see
and
them
see them
through their
through their
journey.
journey.
So that
So
is
that
what
is
my
what my
job
job
as a
as a
broker
broker
is,
is,
to
to
provide them
provide
with
them
the
with the
tools
tools
necessary to
necessary
make
to
sure
make
they're
sure they're
successful.
successful.
And that
And
goes
that goes
beyond the
beyond the
office because
office
I
because
want
I
them to
want
be
them to be
successful in
successful in
everything.
everything.
And I
And I
pray for
pray
my
for my
agents. It
agents.
doesn't
It
just
doesn't
stop
just
with
stop with
clients.
clients. I'm glad you brought that up. We're going to segue into your affiliation with some other businesswomen, entrepreneurs, and you all have a ministry together. Tell us a little bit about that.
So it's the
So it's
New
the New
Perspective
Perspective
Show.
Show.
So
So
again, as I
again, as I
stated,
stated,
visionary and
visionary
the
and the
host,
host,
Erica
Erica
Hooper,
Hooper,
myself,
myself,
and the
and the
other
other
co-host, which is
co-host, which is
Bridget
Bridget
Leash. We
Leash.
are
We are
all
all
entrepreneurs,
entrepreneurs,
all
all
business
business
owners, and
owners,
we
and we
come
come
together.
together.
We
We
come in
come
to
in to
show with
show
a
with
new
a new
perspective.
perspective.
We
We
have
have
kind of
kind of
similar to
similar to
you,
you,
different guests
different
that
guests
come
that come
on,
on,
share their
share their
perspective,
perspective,
talk
talk
about
about
different
different
topics,
topics,
but we
but we
really
really
dig and
dig and
dive
dive
into
into
the
the
different
different
things
things
of
of
what has
what has
made you
made you
successful,
successful,
what were
what
your
were your
pitfalls,
pitfalls,
what can
what
you
can you
do, or
do,
what
or
is
what is
needed so
needed
that
so
you
that
can
you can
bridge the
bridge the
gap and
gap
have
and
a
have a
healthy
healthy
relationship and
relationship and
co-working
co-working
space
space
and kind
and
of
kind of
bring it
bring it
all
all
together. So
together.
we
So
have
we have
different
different
topics that
topics
we
that we
talk
talk
about,
about,
whether it be
whether it be
relationship,
relationship,
those that
those that
have
have
experienced
experienced
sexual
sexual
assault,
assault,
because
because
those things
those things
affect your
affect your
confidence and
confidence and
affect you
affect you
even as
even
a
as a
businesswoman.
businesswoman.
How
How
you
you
kind of
kind of
gone through
gone through
different
different
situations and
situations and
overcome them.
overcome them.
So we
So we
talk
talk
about those
about
things
those
as a
things as a
collective.
collective. Um, we have about 5 or 6 minutes, and there's some things that I know you would want to share concerning events coming up. Take a few minutes and just talk about the bullet points that you want to make sure people understand. I think you got some grant information, a lot of stuff you want to say. Okay, well, go ahead and take this time to do
Thank
that.
you. I have a grant class that'll be coming up on Saturday, March the 4th. It is going to be held at the Community Real Estate Group offices, and we are located at 203 Twin Bridge Lane on the south side of Chesterfield. This is going to be a grant one. We're going to talk about all the different grants, why grants are useful, because right now there are a lot of people that are nervous and stepping out. They feel like they can't qualify because of rates. And we always say you date the rate, marry the house. But you still have people that are nervous that I want to walk them through what opportunities are available for you to be able to get grant funds and the different resources that are available. So if you would like to attend, please register by calling 804-509-5999, or you can email us at info@crgrichmond.com. That is one of the biggest events that we have coming up, and then we're putting together a calendar to add some additional events as well. And then if you're interested in becoming a real estate agent, we have classes coming up in March. So you could definitely reach out the same avenues by calling or emailing us, and we can let you know when the next class will be starting in March.
What are some of the things that you feel should be a red flag when it comes to choosing a real estate agent?
One that is pushing or rushing you to make a decision. We want to be somewhat aggressive because we want to help them to make their decisions, those that are indecisive, but I don't want to force them where they're uncomfortable. You want to work with someone that if you say, I need some time to think about it, I respect that decision, because I want to make sure that I'm the right person for them and vice versa. Because I want to make sure they're going to listen as I'm training and talking and walking them through this process. So it has to be a two-way street. Because again, I'm a believer of who God has for you is specifically for you. And I'm not going to rush anybody, make them feel like they got to make a decision right now, especially when I'm discerning they're unsure. Because if you push them, it's going to put them in a bad state. You want to make sure that they're ready and listening. And even if they're not ready, I'm always following up. Hey, what questions can I ask? Sending out information so they'll know that when that time comes and they're ready, then I know that if I am the realtor that they choose, they'll be reaching out to me because that information is readily available for them.
So we encourage them to take time to really see if it's a good fit between them and the agent. So give them a few pointers on what they should be getting together if they're thinking about buying a home.
If you're thinking about buying a home, you want to know what is your credit score. You want to find out whoever you work with, who they use as a lender. You can reach out and ask questions. You want to have write down what are your principal concerns. What are the current rates? How will the rate affect you? Does that make a big difference for you right now? Because I can honestly say rental expenses are increased. Well, a lot of times with paying rent, you'll get you a nice house and get some of those tax benefits, and you have something that you own. But you also have to shift from a renter to a homeowner mindset. Because with a renter, you have the capabilities of calling, maintenance, and being able to get certain things fixed. And when you're a homeowner, it's taking on a different mindset because now you have to have a home warranty put in place or money set aside that you can take on some of those repairs. Those are some of the things that we kind of talk about so people will know, because a lot of people just don't know what is available to them to help them ease into this home ownership. So you want to have your questions written down. So when you're talking to realtors, interview them. You can interview more than one person. You don't have to just decide, hey, I got this person's card and this is who I want to work with. You want to make sure that they've been in the business. And even if they haven't been in the business for a long time, Do they have the tools and resources to help you that's specific to your situation and to your circumstance? And that's going to help you achieve the ultimate goal of home ownership. And if you cannot qualify, what tools and resources do they have available that can help you work on your credit, help you with your savings? Do they know about these different grant programs so that you will have those things in place and have a realistic time frame and a goal set of, okay, 3 to 6 months. If I do this, I'll be able to qualify. And I'll work with my realtor and my loan officer to help me be accountable because I'm ready to go ahead and get to this end goal. And these are the things that I need to put in place. So you want to have people that's going to help push you when you're ready, that's going to help hold you accountable and stay on target and on track and know the latest trends. So they're helping you and not being a hindrance to you to make sure that you're getting through to the end goal.
Well, the end goal for us is almost here. So before we leave, there's a lot of chit chat. Some people say it's a seller's market. Some people say it's a buyer's market. What is it?
Right now, I would say it's a buyer's market. Homes are increasing. The property values are steadily increasing. And you have buyers that are still on the fence. But this is the time where I'm starting to see where some sellers are paying some closing costs. There are different programs where you can buy down the rate to make it a little more affordable for you. I still have clients that are looking at new construction. And they're offering different incentives as well. So it's just really based on what you're looking for. So this is a great time to still be able to purchase and buy. Just getting over that hump of fear.
Well, all right, then. We're not going to talk about fear, false evidence that appears real.
That's right.
So we have about 3 minutes left. If you would just give them your contact information again, and also a word of encouragement for them to really consider coming to that class.
All right. Just need to contact me. You can contact Community Real Estate. Our office is at 203 Greenridge Lane, Virginia, 235. Our office number is 804-509-5999. And our email address is info@crgrichmond.com. And you can follow us on social media platforms at crgrichmond.com. For anybody that has considered buying a home, not sure if they can qualify, come out. You would be surprised. I have some statistics that I'll be going over, credit that is needed for some of the programs. And there's a lot of money that is out there available that I want people to be able to take advantage of. So they're not stressing like they got to keep up their 401k, or I don't have anything in savings. There are some things that you just need 1% down. And we're going to talk about that, how you can afford to move forward now and not wait and be a homeowner in 2023 before the summer hits. So this is the time. Do not procrastinate. I encourage you. You will be blessed. You're going to have life hors d'oeuvres. It's going to be a fun time for you to come out and learn the information that will empower you to move forward.
Well, all right, everybody. There you have it. Thank you so much for joining me, Tamara. I call it Tamara. What's your proper name? Tamara or Tamara? Tamara. I'm Ms.B. I gonna mess it up.
It's okay because I get Tamara, Tamara, get it all. I respond.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me. This is Ms.B. with a special episode of Live with Ms.B. As with her real estate agent, you can find me on all social media under Positively Ms.B. Please join me every Sunday at 1 p.m. East Coast time right here on all of my social media and the Flow Network with Brunch with Ms.B, where we talk about issues of men in honor of Chris Allen. We interview only men and we talk about subjects that they don't really talk about, but that's again another subject. All right, everybody, you have a blessed week. We love you and thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome.